Please stand and join with us in singing our national anthem, led by Lauren Campillo.
Our invocation this morning is inspired by the words of Psalm 24. Dear God, we thank you for bringing us together on this amazing and incredible and beautiful day. God, we're thankful that you have brought us to the place of the more, the moment of real excitement. So today, we ask, as always, that you would superintend over this moment, help us to enjoy every bit of it. And we do give you the praise. We give you the honor. It's in your name we pray these things. Amen. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Douglas Coop, the chair of Springfield College Board of Trustees.
Thank you. Good morning, class of 2012, family, friends, trustees, faculty, staff, and administration. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is an honor to officially convene the 126th commencement of Springfield College. At this time, I feel privileged to introduce distinguished dignitaries joining us today. Please hold your applause until they are all introduced. I would ask each of you to rise as your name is called and remain standing until all have been introduced. Beginning with the second row to my right, Dr. David Braverman, Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students. Trustee Denise Aline, Chair of the Student Affairs Committee. Trustee Susan London. Trustee James Walsh, former Chair of the Board of Trustees and current Chair of the Committee on Trustees. Trustee John O'Dearna, former Chair of the Board of Trustees and current Chair of the Audit and Compliance Committee. Trustee J. Michael Wallace, Chair of Buildings and Grounds Committee. And Reverend Gregory Dyson, Associate Protestant Chaplain. In the first row, beginning to my right, Dr. Marianne Coughlin, Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs, representing the School of Arts, Sciences, and Professional Studies. Dr. Robert Willey, Dean of School of Human Services. Dr. David Miller, Dean of the School of Health Sciences and Rehabilitation Studies. Dr. Francine Vecchiola, Dean of the School of Social Work. Professor Charles Redmond, Dean of the School of Health, Physical Education, and Recreation. Dr. Jean A. Wild, Vice President of Academic Affairs. Dr. Richard B. Flynn, President of Springfield College. Charles H. Rucks, Esquire, Executive Director, Springfield Neighborhood Housing Services, Inc., Commencement Speaker and Honorary Degree Recipient. Trustee Bridget Bill Giovini, President of the Alumni Council, Dr. Mimi Murray, Professor and Grand Marshal. Please join me in a round of applause for all these distinguished participants. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Springfield College's 12th President, Dr. Richard B. Flynn.
Thank you very much, Chair Coop, and good morning, everyone. And what a beautiful morning it is, and what a glorious setting for this commencement. To each of today's graduates, I offer a heartfelt congratulations, as well as a sincere thank you for being part of the life of Springfield College. With your well-earned and your well-earned advanced degree, each one of you now possesses the skills, experience, and the education to realize many of your hopes and aspirations, and to further your chosen careers. In addition, each one of you is now prepared in spirit, in mind, in body to bring the humanities philosophy to the world around you and to provide leadership in service to humanity. In just a very few minutes, as you come forward and I extend my hand, I want you to know that I'll be doing it as a symbol of my respect and admiration for each one of you in the newest in a long line of Springfield College graduates. Your diploma from Springfield College represents a significant accomplishment. Accept it with pride for a job well done, but also with a touch of humility. Don't forget those who supported you and helped you along the way. Let this be your legacy to help others in pursuing and realizing their dreams. I would now like to offer you the opportunity to express your appreciation to those who have sacrificed in various ways to bring you to this point. So at this time, I'd like to ask all spouses and significant others, children, parents, grandparents, and other family members who have someone graduating today to please rise so that the graduates can acknowledge and thank you for your contribution to the successful completion of their degrees. Wherever you go, whatever career you may choose to pursue, I wish you the very best. Continue to wear your Springfield College colors proudly. Come back to visit whenever you're able, and please stay in contact. We're always interested in your progress, and we always enjoy hearing from you. I wish you Godspeed on your continuing journey through life. As many of you may know, the graduate academic programs at Springfield College are divided into 5 schools: the School of Arts, Sciences, and Professional Studies, the School of Health, Physical Education, and Recreation, the School of Health Sciences and Rehabilitation Studies, the School of Human Services, and the School of Social Work. Each year for commencement, it is our policy to invite one student from a different school on a rotating basis to deliver the official greeting at this ceremony. This year, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Emily Barnaby from the School of Arts, Sciences, and Professional Studies. Emily will be receiving her MBA degree today and will provide the official offering, our degree.
Thank you, President Flynn. To begin, in perfecting a craft, one learns, one experiences, and over time, one becomes. This is a becoming, a celebration of proficiency in a long line of life experiences, and you have made it to the front line. Congratulations to those who worked hard and remained motivated. It is an honor to be invited to attend such a prestigious ceremony. Graduating students, Board of Trustees, President Flynn, faculty and staff, family, friends, and all those in attendance, good morning and welcome to the 2012 Graduate Commencement Ceremony. Whether you are here, grounded in your future, solid in your decisions, or whether you are perplexed and unsure about the crossroad that lies ahead, you have earned the right to be here and celebrate your future. But what kind of future? What meaning does the future have for you? On this wave of opportunity, what is your mission and where are you? Sometimes, reflecting on the end of the journey will help unveil the beginning. Where are you in 5 years, in 20? What kind of image comes to your mind? Find or define the meaning by adding personal value, integrity, discipline, respect. To reach full potential, you must go where your heart leads. And remember, it is only your thoughts that limit you, and only you who decides your future. Often, what holds us back from excellence is fear and attitude. It is hard not to get caught in the expectations society has set for us, but rather to push the limits, to find and take opportunity when it knocks on the door. Hopefully, over your time at Springfield College, you have seen and had the chance to experience the unique dedication to humanics. In keeping in mind with Springfield College's core value, spirit, mind, and body, we must not forget to continue learning, to be aware, to understand difference and how it reflects individualism. The most important part of our journey should be to learn, strive, and love. When you do this, you educate yourself as well as those around you. Mentorship is the essence of empowerment and pushing limits. We cannot reach our full potential without a little push. So for those not graduating, for those that mentor, love, endure, guide, and teach, thank you for walking with us on our journey. Your influence cannot be spoken. It is measured only in our future actions. With that, I will leave you with the words of Ernest Fitzgerald. It is not by accident that the happiest people are those who make a conscious effort to live useful lives. Their happiness is a deep sense of inner peace that comes when they believe their lives have meaning and that they are making a difference of good in the world. Welcome to graduation. Your future looks bright. Thank you.
Nicely done, Emily. Thank you for that official greeting. At this point in the commencement exercises, it's our honor to give special recognition to individuals who have achieved distinction in a field related to the mission of Springfield College. These are people who, in a very special sense, exemplify the personal qualities of high idealism and dedication to human service that Springfield College has sought to cultivate in its students. Today we have with us one such individual who has been recommended for an honorary degree by a committee of the Board of Trustees. Chair Coop and Dr. Weil, will you please join me as we proceed with conferring the honorary degree?
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I have the privilege to present Mr. Charles H. Rucks, Esquire, for the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanics at Springfield College. Charles Rucks, from your time serving the United States in the Marine Corps, yours has been a life of service. You have dedicated your time and energy to the people of Springfield, using your knowledge, education, and tenacity to bring about positive change in the form of community development, charter school formulation, and sustainable home ownership. From your work with the Urban League of Springfield and Springfield Neighborhood Housing Services to your membership in numerous community organizations, you have ensured that these invaluable nonprofit organizations have not only survived but thrived, even during difficult economic times. By virtue of your individual efforts, many families in the city of Springfield have a higher quality of life. Charles Rucks, because you, by your character and accomplishments, exemplify humanics, which emphasizes dedication of the whole person, spirit, mind, and body for leadership in service to humanity. The trustees of Springfield College are proud to recognize your achievements by conferring upon you the degree of Doctor of Humanics honoris causa.
Charles Rucks, by virtue of the authority given me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the trustees of Springfield College, I now confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanics and all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Congratulations.
Dr. Rucks, congratulations.
Congratulations, Dr. Rucks.
Please once more acknowledge our honorary degree recipient with another round of applause. It's now my great pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker. We were proud to just confer on him the honorary Doctor of Humanics degree. You've already heard about a number of Dr. Rucks' accomplishments. Additionally, Charles Rucks' career has been focused on community and leadership. As Vice President of the Urban League of Springfield, he worked diligently to help better lives of the citizens of Springfield in regards to social and economic issues. As Executive Director of Springfield Neighborhood Housing Services, Inc., he leads the organization forward to continuing helping families and rehabilitating areas and neighborhoods through sustainable home ownership. His efforts were recognized at the national level when he was selected to participate in the White House Conference on Minority Home Ownership in Washington, D.C. Dr. Rucks has served as a member of the Springfield College President's Community Advisory Board for the past 8 years. I'm proud to present Dr. Charles Rucks.
In the Bible, the Apostle Paul referred to himself as the least of the disciples. I understand today what that means. President Flynn, faculty, staff, I'm deeply honored to be there here at this great college in light of the significant contributions you've made to the city, to the country, and to the world. I'd like to acknowledge the trustees and other guests on the dais, also invited guests here today. I'd also like, even though it's been done before, acknowledge the families. I understand full well the sacrifices that you've made. When I was at Cornell to get my MBA, I was a full-time student, and my wife was the only one in the household who was working. And she'd come home 8, 9 o'clock at night, but always made sure that by the time I came home from school in the afternoon, that the dinner was already made for myself and my daughter, and all I had to do was heat it up. To my child, who's here, that I would have to, who was in the 2nd and 3rd grade at the time, and would have to follow in behind Daddy to various meetings I'd have. I was still an athlete at the time, so going to my ball games, and then at night when I'd be on my bed studying, she'd come on and plop herself on the bed and bug me. I'd like to say other thing, as all fathers with children know, I love my daughter deeply, but it goes beyond that. She was born 2 months premature on New Year's Day, 1979. Weighed 4 pounds and 6 ounces. And she came into the world battling. From the very beginning, said to the world, hey, look, I'm here, and I'm here to stay. So not only do she have my great love, but she has my deep and abiding respect and admiration as well. And I never want it to be said that I ever saw my baby and your daddy didn't say, I love you. To the graduates, those sitting before us today. You know, undergrad ceremonies, in my judgment, are a ceremony for families to express their pride. You've reached their objectives. But for you all, the graduate students, you've made a decision on how you want to spend the rest of your life. And I commend you for deciding to spend your life in the pursuit of helping others overcome obstacles to their success. Springfield College has been a large part of my life growing up. When in the 50s and the 60s, the Springfield high schools used to play their games at the old field house. And I used to watch my uncle, the great Eddie Gearing, as he would shoot them out one at a time. I also, in junior high school, had a classmate by the name of Glenn Olds. His father at the time was Dr. Glenn Olds, then the president of Springfield College. So I spent a lot of time playing pickup football games on the corner of Wilbraham Avenue and King Street and accessing the various buildings on campus. And to show you, give an example of how courageous Dr. Olds was, he had Martin Luther King come and speak at the commencement in 1964 and gave him an honorary degree. Now, even though it may be before some of your time, Martin Luther King was in jail at the time. And Dr. Olds was encouraged by a number of people to withdraw the invitation. And he refused. Dr. King was released and came and was able to come here for the ceremony. To the current president, Dr. Flynn, who has a very proactive relationship with the community, who understands deeply the special obligation and responsibilities that an urban school, and particularly an urban college, has to its community. He believes in the notion that a college should be a part of and not apart from the community. Well, what am I talking about? Well, we've got an effort going on called the Old Hill Collaborative to renovate the Old Hill neighborhood, a neighborhood that has suffered 30 years of blight and neglect. Ourselves, my agency, Springfield NHS, HAP Housing, and Habitat for Humanity are three nonprofit developers that have banded together to pool our resources. Well, Springfield College, as part of that, guaranteed a $1.5 million loan in order to allow us to acquire the properties that we need to exercise the sort of change that we envision. And scores of new houses have been either built or renovated as a result of that process. In addition to that, Springfield College has an employer-assisted home ownership program that for employees who purchase homes in the neighborhood, it will give $7,500. And my agency will match that as a way to invigorate this community. So, Dr. Flynn, I thank you for your commitment, I thank you for your vision, and I thank you for your dedication to this and the example that you set. I'm deeply honored to be chosen as the speaker here today. In the newspaper, I believe yesterday, there are about 14 or 15 colleges and universities in the region. And it listed all the distinguished speakers, all of the commencement speakers for each of the schools. Astronauts, educators, authors, entertainers, journalists, and then there's me. I'm deeply honored and deeply humbled to be here. I'm going to talk a little bit about my own personal background. I'm going to talk about some friends of mine who've overcome some significant challenges, and hopefully tie that into sort of the challenges that you have which still confront you. And by virtue of your being here and subscribing to the motto, you're committed to do something about. I was born in 1950 in my great-grandmother's house in Brookhaven, Mississippi. My mother was 11 days after her 17th birthday. My father was 19 years old. At the time I was born, my father was up here working in the tobacco fields in Connecticut. He sent 6 months later in December of that year for his 17-year-old bride and his 6-month-old son. because he wanted his children to have an opportunity to really be all that they can be. Now, I want to tell you that at the time my mother got pregnant, they were seniors in high school, and both she and my father were going to college. My mother, for academic reasons, she was at the top of her class, and my father, because on a football scholarship. So if there ever was a situation, a child who changed the lives dramatically of two people, it was me. Because my mother was pregnant when she graduated from high school. I should be intelligent because I finished high school twice. But despite that, and my mother, they had 5 children by the time my mother, before her 24th birthday. And times were hard. But I never, not once, ever heard them complain, as young as they were, as hardworking as they were. Never, not once did they ever complain about what could have been had I not been born. I went to public schools here. From my earliest memory, I knew that I was going to go to college. That was the expectation that my parents set up in my mind. As a matter of fact, in my household on Sherman Street, my father on most occasions had 51% of the vote. But one day he came home from work and my mother had bought a set of child encyclopedias. I was about 5 or 6 years old. And he came home and he saw them and he said, "Elaine, we can't afford this." And she put her foot down. She said, "My children will have books in my house." That was the end of that discussion. And we used those childcraft all through my high school, my 3 brothers, and my sister. And it's probably in a box somewhere still on Sherman Street. I almost blew it when I was a senior in high school. I was accepted to the Naval Academy, to Columbia University, Notre Dame Morehouse, and Colby College up in Maine. And it was a very, very rough time racially. A lot of racial tension was going on, and I got into a fight at school with a kid who happened to be white. It was about a month before graduation, and I tried my best to put him out of a 3rd-floor window at Classical High School. To show you the condition of my mind at the time, when the 2 men teachers pulled me off of him and the principal suspended me from school, the only thing on my mind was not that I might have just forfeited the opportunities I had, but that I wasn't successful in getting him outside that window. How different would my life have been if I had a knife in my hand or a gun? Those, I would dare say, are going to be some of the sort of people that you've accepted the challenge to deal with, that have that sort of anger, that sort of rage inside of them. But they have that sort of ability as well. And we don't have the right to give up on them. I want to talk about a few friends of mine who've overcome adversity. I went to Annapolis with a fellow named Butch Keyser. These are all black. We were all there at the same time. He had gone to segregated schools in Maryland. Was a 2-time All-American wrestler at Annapolis, and we went into the Marine Corps together. He tried out for the 1972 Olympic team, and he didn't make it. And I saw him, I was stationed down at Quantico, Virginia at the time, and I said, "Well, Butch, how'd you do?" He said, "Charlie, I didn't make it." He said, "But the only thing they got me on is mat experience." So he went back to Colorado Springs at his own expense, and he wrestled everybody and everything that moved. 4 years later, he was the reigning world champion and got a silver medal in the Olympics in Montreal. Tony Watson grew up in Cabrini Green projects in Chicago, at the time the most celebrated and the worst slum in America. From that slum, he came to Annapolis and majored in aeronautical engineering. And yes, that is rocket science. From Annapolis, he was handpicked to serve in the nuclear power field. He commanded a submarine that surfaced at the North Pole, commanded a fleet of submarines, picked up admiral, and was charged of the Navy's entire recruiting program. A retired admiral from the worst slum in America. And the last friend I want to talk about is named Charlie Bolden, who graduated from segregated high schools in 1964 in South Carolina. Applied to Annapolis, but neither one of his U.S. senators, Strom Thurmond or anybody else, would nominate him to go to the Naval Academy. Nevertheless, he was selected and entered in 1968. He had two very famous classmates. Some of you may recognize Senator Jim Webb from Virginia, and Ollie North, Lieutenant Colonel Ollie North, who trained me when I was a lieutenant. Charlie became a fighter pilot in Vietnam, flew a number of combat missions, came back, became a test pilot. That's where they strap you into the airplane. They put all these sensors on you because you may not be able to come back to tell them describe to them what happened. And from there on, he became an astronaut. Flew 3 missions in space, commanded 2 of them, including a mission with the Russians. Retired as a general in the Marine Corps, and now he's head of NASA. From South Carolina, denied an opportunity and did not let that defeat him. When I was a little boy, my mother used to tell me that if I did my best, good things would happen. But my father would pull me over to the side and he said, son, you need to do what your mother tells you because she's telling you right. But you need to know that even when you do all that you are supposed to do, all that you can do, you still may not get your due. And you cannot allow that to defeat you. So what are we talking about? What does this have to do with you? Well, despite the advances that we've made, we still have a problem of race in this country that is systemic and pervasive and continues to deny people the opportunity to flourish as they should. Well, what are some examples of that? Well, when I look at the incarceration rate as an example, there are 2 million men locked up in jails and prisons in this country. 40%, 800,000, look like me. By what stretch of the imagination can that remotely be considered fair? Black folks are about 12, maybe 13% of the population. We're about 12 to 14% of the people who abuse drugs. 35% of the people locked up for drugs are black. You can look at life expectancy. A black boy child born today is expected to live 10 years less than everybody else. And it goes on and on and on, mortgage loans and whatever. What are you going to do about that? See, I think that you have a twofold responsibility. One, it's kind of a macro responsibility to ensure that that the system is fair. Speak truth to power. Challenge the unfairness to make sure everybody has an opportunity. But there's a dual bottom line. You have an obligation to the families that you serve as well. To those parents to let them understand their responsibility for their children and help those children understand that they have an obligation to be all that they can be, that the master has given them what they need, that no, it's not fair, but so what? Get out and do it anyway. They have an obligation to be all they can be, all they ought to be, all the master will have them to be. And if they believe that, and if they take the steps to do that, nobody can hold them down. In closing, I want to leave you with a little something that I recite for myself from time to time. Sometimes when we ask the Lord to meet a special need, it seems his ear is deaf no matter how we plead. But up above the blue sky, he watches over his own. He sees our teardrops and he hears our cry. We are not alone. For every trial and every care, he gives us more grace, and every storm has a calm that shows his loving face. Yes, trouble often abounds, that is very true. But he always has the answer, and he always sees us through. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rucks. Before we continue with the ceremony, I'd like to take this moment to recognize and thank the members of the Springfield College faculty and staff for the vital role they have played in educating each and every student in this year's graduating class. In fact, the wisdom and influence of their teaching and mentoring will follow and benefit today's graduates throughout their lives. I'd like to first acknowledge our retiring faculty, Dr. Robert Barkman, Dr. William Considine, Professor Peter Haley, Professor Tara Hinchefeld, and Dr. Joanne Silver Jones. I would now like to ask all faculty and staff to rise so that the graduating students and all of us can recognize your valuable contributions.
And now, it's my great honor and privilege to begin the conferral of the May 2012 Springfield College graduate degrees. We'll begin with the conferral of the Doctor of Philosophy degrees. And at this time, I would ask the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy to come forward with their faculty sponsors. President Flynn, I present to you Katie J. Boulay, a candidate for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and Physical Education, who will be hooded by her faculty sponsor, Dr. Vincent Pallone.
Katie Boulay, by virtue of the authority granted me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the trustees of Springfield College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and Physical Education and admit to you all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
President Flynn, I present to you Ryan D. Carmichael, a candidate for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education, who will be hooded by faculty sponsor, Dr. Vincent Pallone.
Ryan Carmichael, by virtue of the authority given me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the trustees of Springfield College, I now confer upon you the Doctor of Philosophy and Physical Education and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
President Flynn, I present to you Jennifer L. A. Sharif, a candidate for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education, who will be hooded by faculty sponsor, Dr. Kathleen Mangano.
Jennifer L. Sharif, by virtue of the authority granted me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the trustees of Springfield College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
President Flynn, I present to you Sarah Michelle Gregory, a candidate for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education, who will be hooded by faculty sponsor, Dr. Vincent Pallone.
Sarah Gregory, by virtue of the authority given me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the trustees of Springfield College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Congratulations. President Flynn, I present to you David M. Lorenzen, a candidate for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education, who will be hooded by faculty sponsor Dr. Vincenza Pallone.
David Lorenzen, by virtue of authority given me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the trustees of Springfield College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
You asked. Congratulations. President Flynn, I present to you Dominique D. Matthew, a candidate for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education, who will be hooded by faculty sponsor Dr. Susan Geyer.
Dominic Matthew, by virtue of authority given me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the trustees of Springfield College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education, and admit you all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
President Flynn, I present to you Leah K. Pouliot, a candidate for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education, who will be hooded by faculty sponsor Dr. Stephen Coulon.
Leo Pouliot, by virtue of authority given me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the trustees of Springfield College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education, and admit you all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
President Flynn, I present to you Jennifer Ellsworth Vose, a candidate for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education, who will be hooded by faculty sponsor Dr. Diane Lorenzo.
Jennifer Vose, by virtue of the authority given me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the trustees of Springfield College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
I hope you will please join me in congratulating our new PhD graduates. We will now continue our ceremony by conferring the May 2012 Doctor of Physical Therapy degrees, master's degrees, and certificates of advanced graduate study. Assisting in the process will be Dr. Marianne Coughlin, Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs, Professor Charles Redmond, Dean of the School of Health, Physical Education, and Recreation, Dr. David Miller, Dean of the School of Health Sciences and Rehabilitation Studies, Dr. Robert Willey, Dean of the School of Human Services, and Dr. Francine Vecchiola, Dean of the School of Social Work, all of whom will read the names of their graduates. So to begin, will the candidates for the Doctor of Physical Therapy degree please rise? President Flynn, I have the honor of presenting to you these students and those others listed in the program as candidates for the degree of Doctor of Physical Therapy.
By virtue of the authority given me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the trustees of Springfield College, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Physical Therapy, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto, and congratulations.
Thank you. You may be seated. Now, will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, Master of Science, Master of Social Work, and certificates of advanced graduate study please rise? President Flynn, I have the great honor of presenting to you these students and those listed in the program as candidates for the master's degree and for certificates of advanced graduate study at Springfield College.
By virtue of the authority given me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the trustees of Springfield College, and now confer upon you the certificate of advanced graduate study, the degree of Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, Master of Science, or Master of Social Work, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Now, in accordance with our policy of rotating the order of our 5 schools, we will begin by awarding degrees to the School of Arts, Sciences, and Professional Studies. So, I would ask the marshals of the School of Arts, Sciences, and Professional Studies to escort the first 2 rows of graduates to the stage. The remaining graduates may be seated until the marshal directs them to move forward.
Emily R. Barnaby, Laura Adante, Erica Gwendolyn Beachy, Michelle Jean Beauregard, Caitlin Mary Bevins, Stephen J. Borden, Jolene Nicole Brennan, Jill Ann Brooks, Sarah A. Buck, Christine M. Budney, David R. Burkhard, Sarah Danielle Burrington, Laura Ann Campiello, Francesca Sarame, Allison Ann Chenier, Nicole M. Szynski, Tatiana Adelina Cole, Karen Michelle Collins, Michael David Corrado, Sharon M. Davies, Heather Lee Doe, Elizabeth Marie Donia, Amy Elaine Esperwood, Carolyn Beatrice Flowers, Natalie Rosario, Caitlin Ann Graffey, Nicole Linda Gauthier, Amanda Christine Gittins, Basim Gohar, James E. Goldstein, Elizabeth Nicole Gordon, Aaron Courtney Greenleaf, Kelly L. Grobus, Douglas A. Gadetti, Charity Herman, Clanisha Danielle Harris, Amy Lynn Hebert, Jasmina Ibrahima, Alicia Jane Johnson, Stephanie Mary Jordan, Megan S. Kajanka, Angela V. King, Tyler Corona, Justine Steele Levette, Melissa P. Lambert, Jennifer E. Langevin, Jennifer Lee Leahy, Yishi Liu, Karen S. Long, Robert M. Malsapina, Ashley Catherine Malinowski, Leanne Melky, Joan P. Masella, Amy Claire Mason, Jessica Ashley Cecilia Maynard, Ashley J. Mears, Andrea Renee Messier, Jessica Lynn Michon, Andrea L. Miller, Crystal Dawn Morowitz, Carolyn Doyle Moulton, Gregory William Murray, Kevin Patrick O'Connell, Samantha L. Osowski, Carissa A. Pasternak, Patrice Melinda Payne, Talia Cara Pesalono, Allison Marie Peters, Chelsea Marie Phillips, Jody A. Pino Chason, Marcella C. Vitamello Polo, Sean Raymond Poitras, Maria Teresa Pupolo, Madison Lee Rieger, Stephanie Belling Rios, Alicia A. Roberson, Megan Teresa Roberts, Valerie A. L. Romanello, Teresa Catherine Sarnelli, Deidre Victoria Schroeder, David W. Shupak, Joshua L. Shupak, Megan Ann Scott, Leanna Marie Selkowski, Caitlin Irene Siame, Laura Therese Schute, Jocelyn K. Sloan, Rachel Ellen Smith, Amanda Marie Sprague, Kyle B. Stremmel, Lindsay Marie Sturdivant, Sheila Maureen Tarbell, Mark L. Thomas II, Cassandra May Stevens, Eric Stephen Urban, Christine Elizabeth Walker, Eric Michael Wall, Jennifer Lynn Watkins, Quan Zhang. And now, will the marshals from the School of Arts, Sciences, and Professional Studies please come forward? Joshua Cohen. Mia Natasha Downs.
I hope you will join me in congratulating the graduates of the School of Arts, Sciences, and Professional Studies. Thank you. And now, I'd ask the marshals for the School of Health, Physical Education, and Recreation to bring the first 2 rows of graduates to the stage, please.
Eric James Archambault, Nicole Teresa Beeler, Ian Brooks Bradbury, Catherine Welch Carmignani, Cassandra Cloutier, Jonathan Dominic, Colin Richard Drury, Zachary Ethan Furland, Corey A. Finch, Deborah Repass Goodman, Aileen Ryan Ilkson, Tristan R. Irish, Megan K. Judge, Bradford Edward Lawrence, James R. McGuire, Michael Miller, Catherine L. Page, Sandhya Pudel, Adam J. Rezko, Callista Shawn, Jonathan B. Scully, Adam William Smith, Carolyn Mary Smith, Masaki Takeda, Jennifer Tampone, Allison Reed Vanderwerf, Melissa Nora Weinstein, Megan Elizabeth White. Would the marshals from the School of Health, Physical Education, and Recreation please come forward and receive their diplomas? Kristen Marial Cannon, Stacy Ray Andrews.
I know you'll help me congratulate the graduates of the School of Health, Physical Education, and Recreation. And now I'd ask the marshals for the School of Health Sciences and Rehabilitation Studies to escort the candidates for the Doctor of Physical Therapy, degrees to the stage.
James Robert Ashcroft. Mary Jacqueline Banning. Kyle Bryant Bartchus. Nicole Dupuy. Kayla Nicole Furston. Kristen Fontanella. Amy Elizabeth Forbes. Lauren Ashley Greer. Eric Michael Hackinson. Benjamin Lorenzo Infante. Catherine Ann Kroos. Gina B. Lawry. Daniel Lishak. Lorene J. Bray. Dennis Edward Long. Kate Elizabeth Massey. Sean L. McCluskey. Candace Christine McDonald. Brian J. Montgomery. Rory E. Pogmore. Nicole C. Reynolds. Caitlin Elizabeth Sawchuk. Katrina M. Smith. Courtney Ann Vanderwerf.
Please join me in congratulating our Doctor of Physical Therapy graduates. And now would the marshals for the School of Health Sciences and Rehabilitation Studies escort the first two rows of candidates for the master's degrees and certificates of advanced graduate study to the stage.
Elise Kelly Baker. Amanda Elizabeth Berg. Megan Elizabeth Babianski. Maritza Lee Burrows. Charlotte J. Clancy. Ruth Darius. Stephen B. Diamond. Michelle Renee Filio. Marissa Francesca Frizzy Leclerc. Ramona Aliana Gopi. Betsy Jean Baptiste. Julianne M. Kimball. Lee Sullivan Brewster. Rachel Ellen LaCourse. Patricia Sharp Lafayette. Gina Marie Lewis. Sunny F. Lobdell. Cindy L. McDonald. Shauna Mary Matthews. Lauren A. McCauley. Matthew James McDonald. Kayla L. McNamara. Laura M. Mitrowski. Ryan J. Mullen. Tiffany Elizabeth Munns, Angel W. Nazario, Ayula O. Ojo, Charlene C. Potts, Svetlana Pozankov, Brittany Lee Romberg, Lauren M. Santos, Megan J. Sarah, Allie Marie Shea, Leah A. Skypack, Kaylee M. Troop, Jenna Brianna Turcott, Rayanne Lee Terrell, Daniel T. Ward, Tiffany C. Weaver, Benjamin A. Woodhouse. The marshals of the School of Health Sciences and Rehabilitation Studies now come forward. Jamie Douglas Barone, DPT. Danielle Marie Fleshig, MED.
Join me in congratulating all of the graduates of the School of Health Sciences and Rehabilitation Studies. And now I'd ask the marshals for the School of Human Services to bring the first 2 rows of graduates to the stage.
Sandra Faye Austin. Mona Lisa Bentley Mitchell. Nancy Vasquez Levesque. Darlene Robertson Charles. Norma Jean Chambers Claiborne. Devar M. Kloss. Kashifa B. Coleman. Amy Correa. Shamika Antoinette Dade. Shirley A. Fullerton. Irma N. Garcia Zangarelli. Roshana Teresa Hale. Gregory Hall. Amanika Andrew Iwika. Curry Jones. Glenn R. Chuckno. Lynn Marie King. Felicita Lopez. Nicole Delise Lugo. Bruce Miller. Diane L. Orlando. Yadira Otero. Carmen L. Rivera. Hector J. Rivera. Marie Rosario. Melanie Irene Schmertzler. Daniel Kenneth Tabor. Shirley C. Thompson. Esther Torres. Madeline Vargas. Constance Viola Walters. Lisa Naomi Wilkins. Tashina Nicole Womack. Karen V. Christian. Geraldine Jeanette Brown. The marshals of the School of Human Services will now come forward to receive their diplomas. Benita Melanie Williams. Eunice Marie Guidry.
Please join me in congratulating the graduates of the School of Human Services. And now, last but not least, would the marshals For the School of Social Work, please bring the first 2 rows of graduates to the stage.
Zainab Sullivan Abdi. Stacy L. Appleton Supple. Hazel Baptiste Ladano. Nicole L. Batiste. Melissa Y. Beaton. Janine M. Bedard. Tashima Vernice Bell Colthurst. Angela Jameen Berry. Brian Scott Bierman. Latanya Danielle Beiser. Tashima Shante Bowie. Angela Bryan. Antoinette Carrington Parker. Nina Sanfrani. Marie Bailey Como. Taliani Alexander Cotton. Ashley Christine Cox. Amber L. Crane. Chastity A. Crowell. Lauren Michelle Cust. Ebony S. Dawes. Nancy Lee Delabar. Andrew G. DeFiore. Rebecca Dreyer. Lori F. Esposito. Carol Sue Estridge. Tunisha V. Ezel. Pamela P. Ferguson. Ileana I. Fernandez. Natalie Flores. Fatima Fonseca. Adrian Maxine Francis. Jenna L. Frangiamore. William Fry. Jessica C. Marquez Gerard. Tanisha Y. Gordon. Jennifer L. Grant. Sarah Gray. Katie L. Griswold. Erica Elaine Henley. Megan M. Hooten. Erin Lynn Hungerford. Adia T. James. Dawn L. James. Albert A. Coomson. Marjorie E. Capsis. Elizabeth Catherine Larea. Erin Ashby Latham. Catherine Violette Lavalley. Carolyn M. Lorian. Stephen R. McCaddy. Dorothy June Mack. Jeanette Maldonado. Mary K. Mastelers. Sarah Ann McIntyre. Brittany Lee McNeil. Louis A. Malesko Jr. Kurt Banning Myas. Tracy Eileen Mislick. Elizabeth M. Mosier. Julie Ann Neveu. Leanne Bruce Page. Jennifer Passion Blocker. Alexandra Penalbert. Damaris Perez. Jessica Perez Vega. Deborah A. Quinn, Andromeda Peters, Nadia Simone Redway, Michelle Helen Ramadi, Edwin Rexack, Natalie Rexack, Lisa K. Rickard, Deidre L. Reinhardt Jones, Christina Lynn Rivera, Christina Rivera, Eric M. Roldan, Vanessa Lynn Rosario, Natasha A. Roy, Lindsay Ann Russell, Jonathan P. Schnauber, Janice L. Shields, Samantha Alina Smith, Tracy Lee Smith, Cynthia M. Smith Corbett, William L. Swidell, Erica Marie Tamlin, Alicia Ann Taylor, Jamie Inez Sigrid Thayer, Nina Thomas, Patricia Ann Thorpe, Priscilla R. Tyson, Tammy L. Van Linter, Natasha D. Vega, Gloria E. Velez, Joanne F. Verdi, Ivelisse Vicente, April M. Walden Broom, Jevin Louise Whitaker, Laura B. Wilkinson, Catherine H. Ronsky, Althea Zesk. The marshals of the School of Social Work will now come forward to receive their diplomas. Emmy Jean Schultz, Ron Furman,
Please join me in congratulating the graduates of the School of Social Work. And a hearty, heartfelt, and joyous congratulations to the entire class of 2012. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce Trustee Bridget Belgiavini, who is the president of the Alumni Council. And at this time, I would ask our new graduates to please stand.
On behalf of the Springfield College Alumni Council, I want to welcome each of our new graduates to this wonderful institution to alumnus and alumna status. We in the Alumni Association hope that you will remain and maintain your bond and connection to this college and participate in various activities throughout this United States and the world. We also hope you will continue to support our college and its mission. On behalf of the approximately 44,000 living alumni of Springfield College, congratulations and welcome. In keeping with tradition, signifying your new status as Springfield College alumni, please move your tassels on your mortarboards from the right to the left. Congratulations.
Congratulations, graduates. And to our guests, our graduates, and our honoree, thank you for joining us in this ceremony today. And thank you to our marshals, our deans, and our staff for helping make this a special day for our graduates. Our commencement exercises will conclude with the singing of the college hymn and with a benediction offered by Reverend Gregory Dyson. Following the hymn and the benediction, the faculty and graduates will recess through the middle aisle in front of the dining area and to the front of the campus union. To assist us in this process, we ask you please to remain in your seats and clear a pathway for the procession. Now, please stand and join Lauren Capiglio for the singing of the Springfield College hymn.
Now raise a song for Springfield, let hearts and voices blend to celebrate her praises, whose fame shall have no end. While fellowship makes holy, while eager be late, and vision youth come thronging her spacious gates. Earth-wide may happy childhood lift high its wandering eye. Strong youth bring back the vision of earthly paradise. To follow truth to wisdom, nor fade through faltering fears. Be this thy task, O Springfield, through all thy years.
Dear God, you did much. You loved much. You blessed much. And we are real glad. So God, we thank you so much for these graduates. Bless them in all that they do. Strengthen them that they will, in fact, be able to make a difference in body, mind, and in spirit. We thank you for all these things. We ask your continued blessings now and forevermore. And all the people said,